A few years ago, this was just a random image floating around on the internet. Now, it's probably one of the biggest horror thriller movies to come out this year. On this episode of the Vibe Archive, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the new movie Backrooms. This movie was pretty weird. I know that it came out with a lot of buzz behind it. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. People liked it, people didn't like it. So, I had to go check it out. So, me and my lady, we had to go to the movie theaters and check it out. And it was not what we were expecting at all. So the idea from this movie came about from a picture on the internet of like a back room, which if you don't know the kind of rabbit hole back room niche, it's pretty cool, but you should go check it out so you get like the overall vibe of why this kind of happened. It kind of comes from abandoned buildings, old office buildings, schools, hospitals that are just empty and they feel like they just go on forever. People will kind of go urbexing in them and take pictures of them, post them with some nostalgic music, and they just go crazy for some reason. And they're pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the whole backroom niche. So when I saw that they were making this movie, I was instantly interested. I was just wanting to see where they're gonna go with this. Is it gonna be like some crazy supernatural stuff? Is it gonna be some like weirdo that's like capturing people? Because in the trailer they would have like security cameras and it almost seemed like somebody was watching them. So my kind of first thought was some sort of like escape room type of movie. That's what I thought that it was going to be. And it was not that. It's definitely one of those horror thriller movies that is kind of more like psychological in a way and really has you thinking the whole time that you're watching it, where you don't really know what direction they're going to go, which is probably what they were trying to do. I think that this movie was also kind of gaining a lot of traction because it was kind of an oddball movie. It was something that was going viral from these backroom niche type videos and pictures, and they made it into a horror thriller to where nobody really knew the route that it was going to go. Was it going to be really slow? Was it going to be really action-packed? Was there going to be monsters? Was it like a human? Was it like, what is this movie going to be about? And I think that's the question that everybody had. How are they going to make Backrooms into a movie? Again, my first thought was like an escape room type of thing. And I think that the overall vision of the movie was super unique. You took something that was going really viral on the internet, everybody was kind of gravitating towards, and that one viral picture turned into a multi-million-dollar movie. That's just what's crazy about today's day and age. I've mentioned it before, but another YouTuber made one of the biggest horror movies to come out this year. And that just goes to show that the internet knows what's up. The internet knows what's going on. And with the whole internet world, a lot of these kind of, Slender Man and kind of conspiracies and little things that go viral on the internet can definitely pique more interest than just a normal ghost story. You know what I mean? And so whenever everybody's seeing a certain topic going viral on the internet and then they actually make it into a movie, I feel like that just gravitates more people to go and see it. And they're like, oh, I want to go see what this is about. Oh, I saw that on the internet and that was going crazy. I want to go see what they made a movie about it. Let's go check it out. And that's pretty much what me and my wife did. I saw that they were making that kind of backroom niche into a horror thriller movie and everybody was posting about it. I was like, we got to go check it out. Let's go see what the buzz is about. And that's probably why it's one of the highest grossing movies out right now. And again, another YouTuber making a blockbuster mainstream Hollywood movie from an idea. Kane started making backroom videos, posting them on his YouTube, and kind of had this idea before the movie, was kind of working his way up to it with, little short films that he was making, but all came from this photo that he had, and the whole like kind of yellow color grade, really empty hallways with like a random chair and just really kind of eerie, kind of like, that backroom feeling that it has, which nobody was touching on for the horror movie and thriller scene yet. And I'm kind of curious to see what other movies, if other movies will bite off of it and take that and to make it into their own thing, because no other movie has done that. And if there is another movie that's done it, drop it in the comments, because I feel like this movie was also such a big hit because it was super unique and nobody else made something like that. And to bring something that is kind of a really small rabbit hole niche on social media and to bring it to the main stage, it just piqued everybody's interest. The director Kane just nailed it. He brought it from his YouTube videos and making them into DIY videos and movies, and then really leveled it up and brought it to the main stage, and it just hit. And that just goes to show that you can start from anywhere. You can be a teenager in your room making videos with no setup and spending hours just doing it all yourself, total DIY. And if you just have that drive to do something, you never know where it can lead you, especially in today's day and age. And you're just posting it to the biggest platform that's out, YouTube, and you gain followers and you start to kind of build that foundation, then you can really, bring your visions to life. And I feel like Kane just nailed that, where he had multiple versions I saw, where it started as the picture that he got the inspiration from, and he made like 2 other videos before Backrooms. So it's kind of like a stepping stone type thing where he just kept building off of this idea, doing it himself and just grinding away. And now he's on the Hollywood main screen, making millions. So the movie focuses on the main character, Clark, which is a furniture store owner, kind of shows his business failing. No customers. He's going through a hard time in his life. He's sleeping at the furniture store, and he keeps having an issue with the lights flickering and just kind of like having these issues while he's sleeping there and working there, and his utility bills up and he can't really figure it out. He ends up finding like a little crack in the wall where he sees some lights on, but you can only see it if you're standing in a specific spot in the room. Ends up finding the back rooms. Goes through and mind's just blown, where he starts to explore these areas and he's just like, what is this? And he starts exploring the back rooms and his mind's just blown. He's just like, what is this place? And who is running this place? No wonder why my energy bill is through the roof and my lights flicker all the time. This is crazy. It kind of starts to get a little bit psychological, where they just keep going through these hallways. He convinces his 2 employees to kind of tag along and help him with this adventure. And he's like, come on, I want to show you something. You guys got to help me. So they end up exploring the back rooms and shit gets crazy, to say the least. This movie wasn't so much about being in a escape room or being chased by some sort of serial killer. It was really psychological. Like, after we left the movie theater, I was trying to like map out the storyline. Okay, wait, so what happened with this and what was this about? And that was, I think, the whole idea of the movie, that it wasn't supposed to be like really cut and dry. The beginning, the killer, this happened, the end. Because it's the back rooms and it's those really weird liminal spaces, and they just it's really confusing. And I feel like that was the overall vibe of the movie. And I went into it with a little bit of a different mindset. So at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I really liked the movie. Like I'm just more confused after. But after thinking about it and kind of realizing, oh, I think that is the actual point of the movie, to be a little bit weird and confusing, and it's the back rooms, and it's not supposed to be so cut and dry. It's like a bad dream, kind of, where it doesn't really make any sense. That's what I kind of think that the whole thing was, is that it was like a bad dream, and you're almost like running away from yourself, and it like you're the villain in a sense. And whether it's you creating these hurdles for yourself, or then you're kind of running around in this circle just trying to figure out your own, I don't know, issues or whatever it is, you can kind of go down the rabbit hole with it, I feel. Multiple people can probably see different plots in the movie. The movie was definitely not what I was expecting. And again, I feel like that's what kind of made this movie stand out from all the others, because it was really weird. Like the first 20 minutes of the movie, there wasn't a whole lot of talking going on. It was really kind of like the buzz of the lights and, just kind of like footsteps, and really eerie, where you can hear everybody in the movie theater chewing on their popcorn. So I feel like that was something that caught a lot of people off guard like me. Like I was like, what is this movie? Like what is going on here? I thought that this was going to be some crazy stuff, which there is a lot of jump scares and it's weird and scary, but it is also not what I was expecting at all. So if you go see this movie, go into it a little bit more open-minded, because I was a little bit more caught off guard expecting a certain thing. On our drive home, whenever we were trying to figure out the plot of it, well, I think that the overall plot is that you can take it however you want. It's supposed to be really weird, that really eerie, dimensional type of psychological movie mixed in with the jump scares. I liked how the color grade of the movie had that kind of like weird off yellow type of feel throughout the whole thing, and they didn't really show who the monster was until almost the end, which again was not expecting it. And a lot of the stuff was just really weird, like the chairs up on the wall and like a random clock on the floor, and just how the rooms would go into a super tiny door where you could barely fit through, and then all of a sudden it opened up again, where it really reminded me of a bad dream where you're running through hallways and you open up this door and then you can't get through here and then you got to do this. And it was really weird, but really cool all at the same time. And again, the fact that a YouTuber was able to make one of the biggest horror thriller movies out there, kind of based around a social media niche, and he was able to build that himself and kind of build the foundation of it, and is now one of the biggest movies out there, is just worth going and seeing within itself, in my opinion. It got picked up by A24, which is huge, and for a YouTuber to do that, coming from a laptop in your bedroom and having an idea, and now your movie is played everywhere and people are seeing it, and it's going viral. I feel like that is what creativity is all about. You never know where your little idea can take you with hard work and consistency, really, and just putting it out there and not caring, and bringing the liminal niche of the Backrooms to the big screen is what I feel like made this pop so much bigger than any other horror movie that he could have made, where it's the classic thrasher and serial killer, or whatever it is, which I'm a huge fan of those. But these oddball movies that come out, they're always gonna get mixed reviews, and I didn't know if I liked it at first, because I went in there with a expectation of what it was going to be. But the longer that I kind of sat on it and thought about it and everything, I really started to like the overall vibe, started to like the vision a lot more, and to understand it a lot more now that I got a second to kind of wrap my head around it, because it's a weird movie. I'm not going to lie. Like, you're going to leave going, what the hell? What the hell did I just watch? And I feel like that was the whole point of the movie, was for you to leave with that. Not going, oh, I figured it out. I know what happens. And any movie that stands out in some sort of way is going to get mixed reviews, but that's the point. It's not supposed to fall in line with the whole typical horror thriller. And the fact that he made it pop from a really rabbit hole niche like the Backrooms is just really cool, in my opinion. I thought that this movie was definitely unique. So my overall take on the Backrooms is it's definitely something to go and watch as a date night, as just you go out with your friends and go check it out, or by yourself. Just go check it out and see what you think about it. I thought that it was definitely unique and worth the watch, even though I went into it with a different expectation of it and leaving confused. I feel like that was the point, which I later on really liked about the movie, and the fact that it came from an internet viral kind of story. I think that is just where these movies are heading. Everybody has social media now, and there's constantly things coming out, different stories, different conspiracies, this and that. I feel like that's just the best way to get fresh ideas. And this movie, coming from the liminal space of the Backrooms, where it's very eerie and ominous and just very unique. No other movie, I feel, matches up to it in that sense, which is why it's going crazy. And the fact that the whole internet niche of the Backrooms, where the photographers will go into abandoned buildings and take these super cool photos, these urbexers, and they just go nuts because people like seeing it. And these pictures go crazy. And if you haven't seen any, look up just like Backroom on Instagram or TikTok, backroom photos, urbex photos, whatever. And you'll find some and you'll know kind of like the vibe that this movie came from. And so bringing that to the main stage, I think is just really unique. And so I definitely suggest going and watching this movie. Drop a comment on what you thought about the movie if you've seen it. What did you think happened at the very end? Do you think that there's going to be a second one? Let me know what you guys think, because it was definitely not what I was expecting. So that's my take on the new movie Backrooms. If you like these type of episodes, drop a like, comment, let me know what you thought about the movie if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. For sure. Just go watch it, give it a chance, check it out. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. And let me know another movie that we should do a deep dive on, whether it's an older movie, one that just came out, maybe it's one that's been out for a while and it's just kind of like a hidden gem. Let me know down in the comments, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Vibe Archive.